Hi, and welcome to the podcast. My name is Jessica, and I am your host of Beauty Diaries Pod. So, this is my first episode, and it's going to be kind of an intro episode. But I try to think about I've been wanting to start a podcast for a while, and I just didn't know what I wanted to talk about because I have so many interests. I thought about doing a true crime podcast or a book club podcast. And I essentially settled on doing a podcast about hair and makeup and the beauty industry because that's something that I'm familiar with and that's something that I'm working in right now. So yeah, here we are. So this podcast is going to be essentially like an online journal of my journey as a hairstylist and makeup artist. I really focused on doing bridal hair and makeup about 2 years ago. Before that, I was doing cuts, colors, extensions, everything. And I realized that wasn't something that I wanted to really pursue. So it was fun at the time, and even now sometimes I kind of want to go think about going back to working behind in a suite or in a salon doing cuts and color, but right now hair and makeup is my focus. So it's going to be kind of an online journal, and also I want to bring on people that are in the industry that I've worked with or that I want to work with, or just people that are in the industry that I follow or that I admire their work, to come on here and talk about their business and give, their tips and advice. So, I hope that you follow along on this journey, and obviously the show is going to evolve. This is the first episode and I don't know what I'm doing, but I hope that you like it and that you continue to listen, and hopefully you can give me suggestions on what to talk about or what not to talk about on my Instagram. So it's at Beauty Diaries Pod. Oh my God, I'm going to say so many times. I'm going to get better at that. I'm going to get better at that. This weekend, I started to I was on a wedding for a hair makeup team that was booked through a hair makeup team, and I was assigned to do hair and makeup for the bridal party, and I was so excited because this is the first time I'm doing hair and makeup on a wedding for this team. I had done it before, on my own, booking my own clients and things like that, but this was my first time with them because I normally do hair with them. So I was really excited because they trusted me with that. And because of that, I was like, oh crap, I'm going to have to bring a lot more stuff to the wedding. Because normally I just do hair. I just bring my little suitcase and a purse and you call it a day. But when you are a hair and makeup artist, you have to bring everything, which is your haircut, your hair kit, your makeup kit, your brush kit, a makeup chair if you want to bring one, lighting. It's a lot. So, and I'm currently pregnant, so I don't want to be carrying a whole bunch of things and lugging stuff around, especially going upstairs and things like that. So, I decided, actually there's this influencer or hairstylist on Instagram, and I watch her reels where she does bridal weddings on the weekends, and she has this wagon, and I saw the one, she links it on her Amazon page on where she got it, and it was over $100 or something like that. So I was like, there has to be a cheaper version somewhere. So I just looked online and I found one at Academy for $50. So it's just a simple foldable or collapsible wagon, and it's really has sturdy wheels, and I love it because I got it and I was able to fit everything in this wagon, and it's so easy because you just pull it and you don't have to worry about bringing like, carrying all these backpacks and bags and luggage and whatever. So I used that on Saturday, and it was a game changer. So going forward, when I do any hair and makeup, weddings or events, things like that, I am bringing that with me. So yeah, I'm excited about using that. So if you do hair and makeup and you have a whole bunch of crap to lug around, look into getting a wagon, because it's gonna really save your back and your life, essentially. Yeah, so another thing I invested in is a makeup chair, because before I was doing more hair than I was makeup. So anytime I did makeup, I was just relying on the chairs that the venues or the hotels had. And most of the time, those chairs aren't high enough, and you are constantly bending over. And at the time, you're just in the zone, so you don't realize it. But once you're done with doing a wedding, especially for like really big parties, your back starts to hurt, and it's not fun. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna finally invest in a makeup chair. And they're kind of expensive, but I did find one on Amazon because I really couldn't find other ones. I saw some camping ones, but I was like, I don't know if that's gonna be the same. So I found one on Amazon, and it was like $100. It was a little over $100, so it was $104 or something like that dollars. And it came in. It was a perfect size. It's pretty high, and then it has like a little collapsible end tray where you can set things on, drink, and it has pockets on the side as well, so you can put like brushes, products, snacks, because I need all the snacks on wedding days because I'm constantly eating. But yeah, so I'm excited about that chair. It's my first time using it, and now I'm just gonna keep it in my car, so anytime I need a chair, I'll just pull it out. But yeah, and it's really lightweight too, and it's collapsible, so anything that can fold and store into the car is like a win for me. So yeah, and it's funny because my fiance helped me unbox it. Like I told him to take it out of the package for me because it was in like this big carton, and he's like, "Did you get a camping chair?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't. It's a makeup chair." He's like, "No, it's a camping chair." And I'm like, okay, when I was researching, I did see camping chairs, and it looks very similar to this one. But hey, whatever, it's multi-use. That's a good thing about investing in these items, is that you can really use them for a lot of things. So the wagon and the makeup chair, we will use that for camping trips or any travels, or once the baby comes, I'm sure we'll put her in there and kind of, wheel her around. So yeah, I'm so glad that I invested in those. The next thing I've had for a while, but I obviously haven't had to use it too much because I do hair, and you don't really need you do need good lighting, but for the most part, that's not you can do hair in pretty low lighting. Makeup, it's a little bit harder because you need to make sure the foundation matches and the colors are right and things like that. But I love the Maquillage Beauty Light. Maquillage is a beauty company, hair and makeup team in Arizona, and they have this beauty light, and it's small. It's like, I don't know the size, but it's not as huge as a ring light. It's like a rectangular shape, and you can hold it in your hand, and it's really powerful for how small it is. And I love that because you can just kind of hold it up if you need to take a picture with it. Or it comes with a mount. So if you have a stand, you can just mount it on the stand and then use it, bring it with you. So it's not as bulky and heavy as like a Glamcore or any of the big ring lights. So I love that one. And that one's a little pricey. I think it's like $150 or something like that. I don't know, but it's worth it. So some things I wanted to talk about are some products that I want to add to my kit. So Patrick Ta came out with his new palette. It's the Major Dimension 3. I have my notes right here. in front of me, and I didn't put the full name, but I believe it's the Major Dimension 3. It's like a neutrals palette, similar to the Makeup by Mario neutrals palette. But the thing about it is that it does have 2 cream bases. It has like a lighter brown and I think like a dark brown or black, which could be good for, like an intense look or for a liner. But what I love about the Patrick Ta shadows, I have the, which one is it? I have the Major Dimensions 2 palette, I believe. And I haven't really used it that much, but the times that I have used it, I love it because the powders, the eyeshadows are very buttery and like they just blend so easily. And compared to the Makeup by Mario, which is the one that I have in my palette as well, I've noticed that it's, and other people have said this too. I've talked to a lot of people because I'm like, I don't know if I love it, and I don't know if it was just me, but it's really chalky and it doesn't blend as well. So Patrick Ta coming out with something similar is like, I'm kind of mad about, because I already had the Makeup by Mario palette and I don't need another palette until I actually use, and finish the Makeup by Mario one. So, but if I knew about or if Patrick Ta came out with it before, I would have gotten his instead of the Makeup by Mario, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just better for makeup artists. It blends so easily, and I love the colors. It's very neutral, so it's like a good base. And really just for every day, like even if you're not a makeup artist, like it's good if you don't like to play around with a ton of color. It comes with a lot of good neutral colors, and again, it does have those cream bases so that you can finish it out with a good liner or just make it more intense. So yeah, the Patrick Ta palette is like $70 and the Makeup by Mario palette is $50. So that may determine on whether or not you want to invest or which palette you want to invest in. But for me, if I were to go back and if the Patrick Ta came out whenever the Makeup by Mario came out, I probably would have geared more towards Patrick Ta. So who knows? Maybe I will just go for it and just buy it. But one thing I'm trying to do as well is that I want to try and use everything in my kit without having to buy and add more things to it. Like if I have enough, a good diverse range of blushes or shadows, I don't want to just go out and buy the newest thing just because that's what everyone's talking about, and that's what brides are asking about. But if you have like a good kit, which right now I feel like I have a good kit that has like a good foundation and has it gets the job done. Like I can do a variety of looks with it. I don't want to just go out and just add more stuff to it, especially because I don't have any space to put more product in there unless I swap out stuff, which I don't want to do because I want to use as much as I can and empty out as much product before I replace it with something new, unless it's something that I like have to have. So we'll see about adding more palettes to my arsenal of tools. Something similar that came out is the Dynessa Myrecks new palette. It's called Groundwork, and it's also a neutrals palette. But the difference between the Patrick Ta Makeup and Makeup by Mario palettes are that the Dynessa Myrecks palette, it has 10 pomades and 10 powders. So it's a mixture of it's the same. So you're gonna get 10 pomades, 10 powders. And she's marketing it as a full face palette. You can use it for eyes, cheeks, contour, lips, liner, whatever, you name it. That's one thing I would love about Dynessa Myrecks is she's kind of underrated. I feel like no one really talks about her products as much. I feel like they are now, but she has really good stuff, really good products, and I love that a lot of her products are multi-purpose. Like I feel like she's a makeup artist, so I feel like she makes products for the makeup artist. But anyone can purchase and anyone can enjoy and use and her products. But the way that she packages it and the way that she markets it, it's really, a lot of her stuff is multi-use. So especially if you want to keep your palette minimal, it's a good palette to add to your list or add to your kit. But really any of her products are great for adding to your kit because of that versatility. So that's another thing. That's another palette that have my eye on. But again, it's a neutrals palette and I already have one. So who knows? Maybe if I'm over the Makeup by Mario and it's just like, I hate dealing with it, maybe I'll get another one. But so far it's been fine. I just noticed that a lot of people are coming up with like the neutrals palette, and it's really good because that latte makeup is on trend right now, where it's just that browns and nudes and bronzy look that Hailey Bieber and others are doing, even though it's not really groundbreaking. It's just the name is groundbreaking. It's a new trend, the latte makeup, but it's really just a neutral look. Another thing is Ariana Grande came out with her new foundation for REM Beauty, and I don't know, I feel like her makeup line is, I don't know if it's underrated, but I feel like not a lot of people talk about it. It's kind of like in the background, but I hear good things. Like I actually use her lipsticks and I really like them. I feel like they're long lasting. I like the applicator. I have like 2 shades. And then I saw on TikTok that Jeffree Star did a review on her new foundation, and I was so curious to see what he said because Jeffree Star, if you haven't, he is very honest. He has his own makeup brand, so I feel like he really knows what goes into making a product like this. So he tried it out and he had really good things to say about it. Besides the packaging, he said it was kind of cheap because it wasn't like a glass bottle, it was more of a plastic bottle. But people were saying that she probably did that to make it more cost effective. But the formula itself was really pretty and blended really nice. So curious to see if more people will get into that or not. But I love that she just did a Vogue makeup tutorial, and I watched it because I feel like we haven't really heard from her for a while. She's kind of been, filming for Wicked and things like that. So she hasn't really been making music or anything like that. So I just wanted to see what her routine was and what she can update us on. And I love that in this Vogue tutorial, she, was using some of her products and was talking about how she's taking a break from fillers and Botox. And she was just getting really honest about it, which I like because not a lot of celebrities are open and honest about it. They'll say that they just use olive oil for their flawless skin and cough, J-Lo. And who knows, maybe that is true. But, it's hard. Like, celebrities don't owe us anything and they don't have to share, if they're getting injections or not. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that you can't say that you're doing one thing when you're doing a different thing. So I'm glad that she's addressing the fact that she does get that stuff done, because she has young women that are fans of her and things like that. And I feel like because she's so beautiful and she has great skin and, a snatched face all the time, it's sometimes we forget that most of the time that doesn't come naturally. It does take some work, and not saying that that's like a bad thing or, you can do whatever you want to your face. But, we just have to make it realistic. And I'm glad that it was just interesting that she even brought that up because she obviously didn't have to. But yeah, she said she was taking a break from that, and that eventually, like, maybe she's like, not saying that in 10 years I'm not gonna get a facelift, but right now that's just, she likes the idea of aging. And I love that she said that, because again, like, people do look up to her and people love her look. And I agree with her. Like, I think we're getting to a stage, or we have been, where everything is just filler this and Botox this and, you know, prevent aging. And I mean, that's been around for a long time, but I feel like people younger and younger are getting these procedures done. And obviously, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, for people who don't want to do that stuff, like, it seems like everyone around us, and even around me, because I'm in the beauty industry, like, I feel like people, you know, are getting these things done all the time. And it kind of, it's human to compare yourself and just be like, man, that lipstick looks good on her. Her lips are like so, you know, pretty and pouty and big, and mine don't look like that. Like, they're chapped and they're, you know, small and, you know, whatever. And it's like, do I need to get that, you know, a filler done or a lip flip or something so that I can look like this, or get Botox on my you know, forehead or something to, like, lift my eyes. I don't know how it works. But once you see so many people on Instagram or so many people in your life that do get this stuff done, you start to, like, question, like, should I start to, like, it's, I don't know, like, if you surround yourself with people or things a lot, like, I feel like it starts to filter into your life. So it's good that sometimes, you know, even a message like that can help you kind of snap back and be like, no, like, you're okay the way you are, and it's okay to have wrinkles, and it's okay to get older. And, you know, like she said, maybe in 5 years, 10 years, whatever, you decide, I'm gonna need a little something. And that is totally fine too. It's, you know, everyone's in a different stage in life. Everyone has their own insecurities. There's a ton of things I wish I could change, or that I can change. But, you know, either you're scared or it's, you know, you can't afford it, whatever the case is that, you know, just love the season you're in, and love the skin that you're in. You know, even if you need to make adjustments to it or whatever, do whatever makes you happy, essentially. But yeah. So just some things that I am needing to work on is photography. You know, again, going on Instagram and social media, you see so many images of really good makeup and really good, like, hair. And I'm just, like, constantly questioning, like, do I need to get a better phone? Because right now I have a Samsung Galaxy, and I can tell you right now, I hate the way it takes pictures. I don't even know why I got a Galaxy. I used to have a Google Pixel, and I love the way the pictures came out on that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to switch because, but it's obviously, it's not always the camera that you have, it's how you use it. Anytime I take pictures, I feel like I suck because, one, I feel like the camera sucks, and two, I just don't know how to take pictures. So that's, like, one thing I need to work on, is that, you know, you can do the best hair and the best makeup, but it's nothing if you can't get a good photo of it and market it. Because, you know, oftentimes things do look a lot better in person than they do in pictures. Sometimes pictures, like, for some reason, like, point out little things that you can't see in normal everyday life or, you know, in person, but in pictures, it's like it's like it zooms in on that one thing that you're like, what is that even doing there? So yeah, the fake photography is really important. If you're not good at it, get better at it. Take classes, go on YouTube. Like, there's I save so many resources on TikTok and Instagram on how to take better pictures. So it's definitely something I need to work on. But yeah. So last thing I'm going to talk about is things that I'm loving right now. These are things that I love on myself. I actually haven't used it on clients yet, but just things that I love as far as makeup is, I'm going to pull them out right here. They're next to me. The Milani Make It Last finishing or setting spray. It's a dupe to the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. The Milani one is obviously less expensive. And I have the Charlotte Tilbury for my kit, but for like everyday use for me, I've been using the Milani, and it's called Make It Last, and it really does. I spray it all over my face, and my makeup is still in place when I'm done for the day until I go to bed. So I really like this, and it's 16-hour wear. It's good for prime. It says prime, correct, and set. So yeah, you can really use it throughout your makeup application, not just for the finishing touch. The next product I've been loving is the Anastasia stick blush in Latte. It's kind of like a nudie pink. It's really pretty. I almost want to try it as a lipstick, but it's just a stick. You kind of roll it up, and I like to warm it up on the back of my hand and then use my brush on my hand and then put it on my face. I don't like to, when I use, they market these stick foundations and stick blushes and contour to be used directly on the face. But I feel like it's harder to blend that way, and sometimes you don't want that much product. So I like to just warm it up on the back of my hand to really distribute the product, and then I have better control with it, or control of it, because I'm using the brush and I'm putting it where it needs to go. Next thing I've been loving is the e.l.f. brow lift gel. This is if you want laminated brows, but you don't want to either pay the price or you don't want to commit to something like that. Because sometimes those laminated brows look a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. But if you want to control the way it looks and obviously try it out, and something that's not as well, it's not permanent, but something that you're not gonna just regret getting and want to wash off immediately, you can use the e.l.f. brow lift, and it's inexpensive. It's an e.l.f. product, and yeah, I've been using this for my brows to kind of brush them up and then kind of make them look. And sometimes when I use this, I don't even need to fill in my brows because I have pretty dark brows already and they're pretty full. But sometimes you just need to brush them up, and then that really does make all the difference. All right. So that is episode. And yeah, I'm excited to continue doing episodes. I plan to release an episode at least starting out at once a week. I think it's going to be on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I really want to try and stick to a certain day so that if anyone's listening, they know when to look out for it. But things happen. I'm it's busy wedding season. It's fall. There's just a lot going on. So I'm going to try to stick with it as much as I can. But yeah, I think I'm going to do a bonus episode of just kind of my background on how I got into the beauty industry, what I was doing before, and things like that. And then my next podcast, I want to just continue kind of what I'm doing right now. If you have any suggestions on what I should talk about or what I should leave out, any constructive criticism, I would love that. You can send that to me on Instagram. Leave a review. If you're on Spotify, you can go to my the podcast page, and I think there's under the name there's a star for where you can leave a review or something. So I would love for people to review it so that more people see it. But yeah, I have a couple guests that I have in mind that I want to bring on to the podcast. Just people in the industry, estheticians, makeup artists, business owners, lash artists. I don't know, a little bit of everything. And I have one that has said yes to me, that she does want to come on the podcast. So I'm excited. And there's a couple more that I've started to just build a list of random people that I've seen or people that I follow that I want to interview. And, as the show goes along, I'll start reaching out to them to bring them on. I don't want this podcast to be all about interviews. I only want to do like 1, maybe 2 a month, if that. But this is a solo podcast. Maybe I'll bring on other people to talk about trends and things like that with me, that are in the industry that of my friends in the industry that I work with. I think that'd be kind of fun. But, for the most part, it's going to be a solo show and with a sprinkle of guests every now and then. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Again, also, I am filming this for YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, hello. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can watch on YouTube if you want. But, podcasts are convenient because you can listen to them whenever you want. You can listen to them on your commute home, to work. You can on your commute to a wedding venue that's like an hour and a half away, because if you're in Texas, you know that these wedding venues are not close. I mean, a lot of them are in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah, I think that's it. So, thanks for listening. Bye.